Welcome back to Jim's EV Adventures. Today, we're diving into a hot topic that comes up often when discussing electric vehicles. The government can't mandate EVs. Well, guess what? The government already mandates what kind of car you can drive, and it has been doing so for over half a century. In this episode, we're going to break down the existing regulations under Title 49, Part 571 of the United States Code, which outlines the Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standards, FMVSS. We'll also explore another key fact. Driving is not a right, but a privilege, regulated at both federal and state levels. Understanding these facts helps put the EV transition into context. So let's dive in. The fact of the matter is the government already mandates vehicle standards, and it has been doing so for many, many years. When people say the government can't tell me what car to drive, they forget that it already does. The FMVSS, established by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA, sets strict design, construction, performance, and durability standards that every vehicle must meet before it can legally hit the road. For example, FMVSS number 108 regulates all automotive lighting, signaling, and reflective devices to ensure visibility and prevent accidents. Without these standards, there would be no uniformity in vehicle lighting, making nighttime and adverse weather conditions very hazardous to drive in. FMVSS number 208 mandates occupant crash protection systems like seat belts and airbags. This regulation alone has saved thousands of lives annually and has evolved to include airbag technology. FMVSS number 305 is specific to electric vehicles. It outlines the standards for electrolyte spillage and electric shock protection, ensuring the safety of EV batteries in the event of a crash. And without these regulations, our roads would be far more dangerous, with no guarantees that vehicles meet basic safety standards. In short, whether it's requiring airbags, fuel efficiency standards, emission controls, the government has always played a crucial role in shaping the vehicles we drive. The move to EVs is simply an evolution of the existing policies, not a radical new mandate. And getting back to the point I made earlier, driving is a privilege. It is not a right. Many people argue that they have the right to drive whatever vehicle they choose, but that's simply not the case. Operating a motor vehicle on public roads is considered a privilege, not a right. This means it comes with rules, responsibilities, and, yes, government regulations. For example, driving privileges are contingent upon licensing requirements. Every state mandates that drivers must pass written and practical tests to demonstrate their ability to operate a vehicle safely. There are vehicle registration requirements. Cars must be registered and meet safety inspections to ensure they comply with laws and that they are roadworthy. There are insurance regulations in most states. Most states require a minimum liability coverage to ensure financial responsibility in the event of an accident. Imagine if driving were unregulated. There would be no way to ensure road safety or hold reckless drivers accountable. The shift toward EVs falls under the same framework. Regulations aimed at improving safety, reducing emissions, and promoting energy efficiency. So the next time someone insists that EV mandates infringe on their rights, remind them that driving itself is a regulated activity, and those regulations have always evolved to address public safety and environmental concerns. One of those environmental standards is called the CAFE standards. It stands for Corporate Average Fuel Economy. It was first introduced in 1975 in response to the 1973 oil crisis. It was enacted by President Ford and Congress at the time. The goal was to reduce American dependence on foreign oil by improving average fuel economy of the cars and light trucks that were sold in the U.S. And over the years, CAFE standards have evolved to push automakers to design more fuel-efficient vehicles, incorporating innovations such as turbocharging, lightweight materials, and hybrid technologies. These standards have had a direct impact on vehicle design, forcing manufacturers to comply with increasingly stringent fuel economy requirements. Again, it was passed in 1975 under the Energy Policy and Conservation Act, and the first standard aimed at doubling fuel efficiency by the mid-1980s. In 2007, under President Bush, the Energy Independence and Security Act mandated an increase in fleet-wide fuel efficiency to 35 miles per gallon by 2020. In 2012, the Obama administration set new targets requiring automakers to achieve an average of 54.5 miles per gallon by 2025. That was subsequently struck down under President Trump's first term. In 2021, under President Biden, the standards were revised again, aiming for significant reductions in greenhouse gas emissions and an increase in EV adoption. The CAFE standards have shaped the automotive industry for decades, proving that government mandates have long played a significant role in determining what kind of cars automakers can produce and what kind of cars consumers can drive. So mandates are real, and they've been around for well over half a century. So why the push for EVs makes sense now? Given that vehicle standards have evolved over time to include everything from seatbelts to catalytic converters, it makes perfect sense that they continue to evolve to address modern challenges like climate change and energy independence. Consider these facts. Driving vehicles in the United States, the personally, privately owned vehicle, accounts for nearly 30% of the greenhouse gases that the U.S. emits. It is the largest contributor to climate change. Transitioning to EVs can significantly reduce this footprint. EVs are becoming more cost-effective, with manufacturers like Tesla, Ford, and GM now offering models that match or even undercut the price of an ICE counterpart when considering the total cost of ownership. And the infrastructure is rapidly expanding, with thousands of new chargers being added across the country every year, reducing range anxiety and making EV ownership more practical than ever before. The reality is EVs are becoming more affordable with a lower total cost of ownership than most traditional gas cars. And as battery technology improves and charging infrastructure expands, EVs are becoming the next logical step in the automotive evolution. So I'm trying to keep this video short, so I'm going to sum it up here. The government already mandates what kind of car you can drive through long-standing safety and emission regulations under Title 49, Part 571. And let's not forget, driving is a privilege. It is not a right. These regulations exist to keep our roads safer and our air cleaner. And as the automotive industry continues to innovate, it's clear that the future is electric. Embracing EVs isn't just about government mandates. It's about smarter, cleaner, and better performing vehicles. Just like past vehicle advancements such as seat belts and emission controls, EVs represent another logical and sensible step forward for everyone. If you found this breakdown helpful at all, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell icon for notifications. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think vehicle regulations should continue evolving with new technology? Let's discuss this like grown adults. Until next time, keep driving electric, stay adventurous, and I'll see you out there or somewhere along that route from point A to point B. Take it easy, everybody.